I've worked on bits and I've got finished tracks, but it's like for me, they're not the first thing I want to put out.
Right.
Because it's going to be like, I want it to be a statement. I like all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So there's something I'm working on that when it goes through, like I'm going to be very proud.
Taking you guys on a journey of the music of the past, present, and the future. Welcome to Mambo Tales. We are here outside of Café Mambo with the amazing RIO TASHAN. Thank you so much for doing this, man.
Thank you for having me. Like, it's honestly been such an iconic place to play. I never thought I'd ever be here. So yeah,
really?
Definitely, yeah, 100%. But I don't think like it starts off as like hobby. I feel like for everyone, and like the goal is never really set there and then.
Right.
That this is going to be something I want to do. And so like when it kind of happens, it's just like. Still like pinch me every time.
Yeah.
It's nice being over here, it's nice playing here, yeah. Thank you for having me.
Man, amazing. So let's talk about that then. So you saying that when you first started, I wanted to talk about your origins then. Okay. So like what got you into music and then what got you into DJing? Like where did that all come from?
Well,
where did that start?
I've always been like surrounded by music. Like, my dad plays himself, my mum was a dancer, so it's always been like around me throughout I've been growing up. Yeah. However, it's like, I think it's only when I went to my first festival, and it wasn't the best one. It was only Reading Festival. It's when you turn 16, after your GCSEs, you go straight there when you get your results. And like, I was a bit of like my band phase. I loved all my bands.
There you go.
And then I found myself that whole time just stuck in the dance tent. And I think it was from then where I just kind of got more into music, and then that slowly built to like then starting to DJ. And then, yeah, it's just all gone from here.
So when you say you were in the dance tent, does that mean before you were listening to a different type of music, and then when you got in, you actually was that festival that got you into dance music?
100%. It's like, well, you know, I liked all music like always, but like beforehand, like my thing was like R&B. It was going out, like listening to like the Kooks as well, like Two Door Cinema Club, like I'd be screaming their lyrics, which is all indie, like really cool shit beforehand. But then like, yeah, that dance tent, it completely changed everything. I think it's just like, you know, the energy is different. Like, people aren't just playing music that is theirs and what they've created. You're also showing a crowd and like different things that aren't necessarily yours. It's just more your taste. Like for instance, I like playing music that is not typically something that you may know. It's more to show you like what I've found and think that you're gonna like it. Nice. And I felt like that's where I experienced it first time in that tent. So yeah, that's what changed.
And you still do your sets in that fashion where you 100%. Like to play music like to.
100%. Obviously, like you gotta still read the crowd and like put in the ones that they will know. But it's like for me, I'm all about sharing music. Yeah. And it's like we've got a certain amount of time to. We're in front of new people that we probably won't see again unless they come again, hopefully.
They will,
and,
for you.
It's like you've got that set of time to show what you're about, your personality, and it has to reflect in the music. Right. And I'm not a very obvious person. I like to throw curveballs. I like to keep people guessing, but I feel for me the best compliment is having a Shazam. Always like seeing someone try to Shazam your music.
So I do a lot of that actually in the sets, and I'm always on my Shazam, man. Yeah. So I definitely was on it today as well, man. Amazing set. I wanted to ask you going into that, you're playing here at Café Mambo today. Could you talk a little bit about, your feelings going into it, now your feelings afterwards?
Well, it's actually probably more nervous set that I've done on the island this season because it's like, obviously the first time playing here this season, and it's like, I think it's more the setting which is very different to what you're typically used to because like people are eating, but it's a pre-party, people walking by, so you try and keep them there. So it's like knowing the right, knowing the next step of like where you're going to take it, I think is like quite crucial. But like at the start, I was quite nervous, but then as you start playing, you just kind of catch a vibe and just like understand and like what you can do, what you can get away with.
It's really interesting. I think you're the first DJ since we've been doing this Mambo Tales series that's mentioned that like because there are complexities in playing at Café Mambo, aren't there? Like like you said, there's people walking by, there's people eating, 100%. People taking here just to get a drink. Maybe there's actually people here just to see you. There's so many different types of 100%. Crowds that are at this venue, and you gotta sit there as the DJ playing, figuring out what to do.
But you know what? That's what makes it fun because like this is something where like I'm not just walking into a usual setting of a club, playing a set and like just how even though every crowd's different and it's always different in that sense, but it's still kind of like standard of what to expect. Then here's like it can suddenly be quite quiet and then suddenly you've got loads of walkers by and then like your job is to kind of keep them there. You want to get them in for a drink. Also, like make sure you're not going too heavy so people can still enjoy their meals. But
This
yeah.
was that's really important, guys. Like we haven't had no one talk about this part. We're gonna have to make sure we highlight that later. That's amazing. So I want like I think 2 more questions. I want to talk to you about your music.
Okay.
So do you have anything coming out or you're working on now, any projects? Is there anything you can talk about? If you can't talk about it, no problem.
I'm definitely working on stuff. You know, I feel like for me, like I've always seen less is more. So my
Quality.
journey, exactly, quality over anything. And it's like, I've worked on bits and I've got finished tracks, but it's like for me, they're not the first thing I want to put out.
Right.
Because it's going to be like, I want it to be a statement. I like all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So there's something I'm working on that when it goes through, like I'm going to be very proud for that to be the first.
Hey guys, statement. Wait for it.
There
All
you
right. I gotta ask you, you're gonna be playing in Tomorrowland?
Yeah, tomorrow, literally flying as quick.
Literally tomorrow in Tomorrowland. Okay,
Like,
playing in Tomorrowland tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, literally. Well, I call it that. But yeah, get off the plane and literally it's like probably the most like stressful journey of my life that I've done so far. Where like straight off the plane and got to get straight in the taxi. As the time that the taxi gets there is just as I start, but I need to start.
Really?
So it's like time sensitive, but yeah. That add to the nerves, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness,
man,
can you
it's
talk
like-
to us about that? Like your feelings about that?
Yeah, man,
That's a
like-
really amazing venue
I
to
know,
be at.
like it's nuts, like, and it's just something that was all of a sudden a little bit as well. Like, just my agent Andy just goes, "Oh, I've got you to Ireland." And just like a few weeks ago, I was like, okay,
all right, cool, yeah, all
okay,
right.
then, like, just like you know, I feel like that's one of those festivals where it's such a privilege to be at, but it's like, even though you can like maybe have a goal to want to be there, it's one of them ones that you probably keep at arm's reach because you don't think like, you know, it's not gonna happen.
Right, but you did.
But you know, which is nuts. Still pinching myself. Like
That's
tomorrow's
so
gonna
dope.
be, yeah, it's gonna be great.
That's so dope. All right, so we're gonna go to our final segment here, the Café Mambo mystery box.
Okay.
So
here
what we
go.
do here, Rio, is we're going to give you this mystery box. You're going to reach inside the mystery box, take out whatever comes out of this box. You gotta talk to us about it.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
I'm really dyslexic, guy. Okay. Oh, Hackney Social.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is wait, do you do research? Like,
Hey man, listen, this is Mambo Tales, man.
So there was, I think it was just after COVID, so probably like 2021. I just thought like this is before like anything had really kicked off, and my sound as such, like where I was playing before, was not necessarily to my exact way I want to play.
Right.
So, and obviously you cater your sets to like make sure like you're playing the right thing for the right parties. And like Hackney Social, which is there you go, that was the photo.
Check it out, guys.
There you go.
Check it out.
Hackney Social is this little venue in Hackney Wick where it's just like down this like little alleyway.
Yeah.
And they've got like loads of food stalls and things like that. And they stumbled across it and they were like, oh, do you want to throw an event? I was like, you know what I might do just for one off. Like it's called RIO TASHAN Invites, and I just invited like all my friends just to have the freedom to play however they'd like.
Wow.
And yeah, it sold out. It's like, yeah, it's incredible. But it's, you know what, that was the only thing where that stress of trying to sort and like manage that whole night really put me off throwing my own party.
Really?
Yeah, because like the stress, like even though it sold out, I was like, oh, are people gonna turn up?
Yeah.
Like, are they not? Like, what they're gonna expect? But yeah, it was fun. Definitely like a moment and a memory that will sit with me forever.
Figured that's really nice. So I mean, I know you're a London boy. We got some Hackney boys over here
Here we are,
on the team. We got a couple Hackney boys. Just have to throw a shout out. But anyway, so final question. What we like to do to end every Mambo Tales episode is the DJ from the past episode will ask a question for the DJ for the next episode.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to ask you the question that our DJ yesterday asked.
Okay, cool.
And then you're going to ask a question for the next DJ.
Okay.
We don't know who the DJ is.
Okay,
So it's
perfect.
an open-ended question. The question that she asked yesterday was, if there was one track that you had to play for every set for the rest of your life,
Ascension's Maxwell, best track.
didn't even need to think about it. That's
Hey.
my guy.
Not even house, but it's just that is
Hey, man,
that's my
if
track.
you can slip it in, you can slip it. If you gotta play it, you gotta play it.
Yeah, man.
All right, that's amazing. So can you
Good
give us your
Now I've got
question?
to top that. God.
Any question you can think of.
How do you handle stress?
No,
in
no one's
this-
asked that.
Yeah.
No one's asked that yet. How do you handle stress?
Because it can be very stressful. You get nervous a lot. I don't think I've met any DJ that doesn't get nervous before a set. How do you manage that stress and be able to still pull off like every set like they can, because otherwise they wouldn't be playing anymore, right?
Right.
So yeah. Now, how do you handle stress?
There you go, guys. Heard it here from Rio. All right, well, guys, another amazing episode of Mambo Tales.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. RIO TASHAN, thank you so much for doing this, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, this was Mambo Tales, and we checking out.
Laters.